NMBF Coffee Chats, where we discuss certain topics and issues that are very important for our living as members of, as Christian community members and also as members of society. So today we are focusing on the Christian community itself, and so the topic of today's talk is how to have a healthy vacation with your kids. This was originally conceived by Brother Prabhu, who was quite concerned about parents sending kids for certain camps and what really happens there. But then as we discuss, we realize that there's a far greater context also, because sometimes parents are putting so much pressure on the kids even during vacation. We thought it needs to be discussed more so in detail, and therefore we are thankful to God that we have three resource people today here in the midst of us to guide us on this session. So just quickly introducing each of them, we have Lydia Royce. Lydia Royce has done her MA in English Literature, Diploma in Elementary Education, and Masters in Christian Education. She is an alum of Renovare Institute of Spiritual Formation. She has been an educator for nearly 2 decades and is now involved in training and equipping parents and teachers at With God Education, along with her husband Royce. They have 3 children and they live in Mumbai. Dr. Atul Aswan, and our next speaker is Reverend Dr. Joshi Jonas, who's born and brought up in Mumbai, grew up with one brother and 6 sisters, a commerce graduate from Mumbai University, married to Ruth Asharata. Children are Dr. Daniel Jonas and Elena Emmanuel. Grandchildren Leora and Luke. 2 decades of work with pharmaceutical companies. He began as a medical representative to regional sales manager to a medical copywriter. As a member of the United Basil Mission Church, functioned as a Sunday school teacher, general secretary of the Sunday school elders of the church and council members, led the VBS ministry in Mumbai as a volunteer, worked as a field staff with Scripture Union, he's been a director of Children Bible Ministries International, developed curriculum for CEEFI and David C. Cook. Presently functioned as a family therapist, cupping therapist, and craniosacral therapist. Yeah. That's Reverend Dr. Joshi Jonas. And the third speaker we have is Dr. Atul Aswani. He has been a psychiatrist and counselor since 2004. He did his MBBS from Seth GS Medical College located in Mumbai. He then obtained his PG diploma in psychological medicine from College of Physicians and Surgeons in Mumbai. He currently practices in Ivy Clinic in Santa Cruz, Mumbai, and besides writing prescriptions when needed, he focuses more on the working of the mind. Okay, so thank you so much, each of our panelists and all the friends who've joined, online in this session. And so we'll begin with each of us speaking for 15 minutes, after which we'll go into the Q&A. So please hold on to your questions till then. All right, we'll begin with Lydia, followed by Dr. Joshi, and then Dr. Atul. Okay, over to you, Lydia. Thank you so much.
Can I share PPT?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Thank you all for joining in, and thank you, Abhijit, for welcoming me into this talk. This is a kind of an interesting talk to give. I took a while to understand how to navigate around this topic, because we don't usually think about it. So when I did, I found that there were three aspects that we can look at as we consider this topic. How to have healthy vacation with our kids. So I'll be looking at how we listen, plan, and celebrate. Even as you all are coming in to the session, I'm kind of taking a liberty to assume the questions that you may be having in your mind as you think about this topic. I'm assuming that you want to know how you can keep your children occupied so that you'll have peace of mind, which is a good reason to plan. How can I make best use of the vacation so that they have added skills different from what they get at school? I'm also assuming here that most of the parents in the meeting are schooling parents, but it works the same for homeschooling parents as well. How can I ensure that there is a safe way of spending vacations? So maybe something spiritual and based on increasing the knowledge of God. Maybe you wonder if there are options that are available that you can use to take informed decisions for your children's vacation spending. I'm assuming these are your questions. You can differ, disagree, and add more to these. Um, but basically, I think these are some of the questions that parents may have. Um, I like the topic that we have today, that we are looking at how to spend healthy vacations with our children. So it's not, I'm assuming again, and I want to stress on that word with children. Um, it means that it's not parents imposing something on the children, but it is coming alongside of the children and planning something healthy and fun, maybe. May I suggest some principles based on which you can plan or look at the vacations? This these principles would actually even work for regular days, but more so during vacation because there's so much time in hand. Again, I understand that parents are working, busy, and some parents are at home. One of the parents may be at home, both may be working from home. There are different situations. So I'm just offering these principles. You can take it and see how it applies to your own family. Every family's application would look different. Uh, so there's no one blueprint for all. You know, one parent may choose to do something, another family may choose to do it differently. So there's no comparison, no competition. There's just unique application of these principles in one's own family. What works best for your family? So the first thing I suggest is listening as a principle. Listening wherein we form deep connections rather than giving priority to entertainment. Um, Now, when I say entertainment, I'm not referring to mobile phones and TV and movies and all of that. No, I'm referring to distraction. Okay? I'm talking about forming deep connections with our children rather than just engaging them to be distracted. Um, Listening helps us to do that. Let me explain how. As your children are now going to be at home, I encourage you to take time to ask them good questions. How are you? How have you been? How was your schooling? How were the days that you spent in school? What did you enjoy most? What were some of the challenges that you faced? No judgments, no solutions. Just listen to them as they tell you of their experiences. Same goes for homeschooling parents as well. If you could step aside as teachers and ask them what worked best for you, what did you enjoy most in the schooling experience, homeschooling experience? What challenges are you facing? We hear of stress and anxiety increasing in the spaces where children are these days. This is a good time when you can form bonds with your children and give them freedom to converse with you without you giving them answers for their situations. They don't, I think many a times children know how to navigate, they just need to be heard. So I encourage you to listen. Take time to listen. Form deep connections with your children during this vacation time. I believe listening simply is loving. I strongly believe that listening is loving. Just listen well. When they share with you, listen well. Is that so? Did you really feel that? How was that? Tell me more about it. Ask questions like that so that they're encouraged to share more deeply with you. That's first principle as you enter into vacations. Listen to your children. The second aspect that I would like to put forward is plan your time. And to add to that planning, may I also suggest that less is more. If you can think of less being more. I love this picture. I love the way the child is so engrossed in playing with that mud. Sometimes, I think most of the times, simple things are valuable. And we don't have to plan something grand for our children. These simple things, like just playing with mud, just being quiet in a room together, they are valuable and precious things for our children to form deep connections. So, as you plan for your vacation, remember the first principle listen. Use that when you enter into planning. Ask them what they want to do. Ah, that can be a bit scary sometimes when you ask. It can even, I mean, even when I suggest ask your children what they want to do, that itself may feel like I don't know what they'll come up with. That's, yes, it's true. You never know what they can come up with. Children can surprise us. But ask nevertheless. Sometimes some children will say, I just want to sleep. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing. If they want to sleep, let them sleep. Some may say, nothing. I don't want to do anything. That's perfect too. It's absolutely perfect. When you listen, you will know that that's what the child needs. That's exactly what the child needs, and he is telling you, he or she is telling you, they're letting you know. So receive their idea of, I want to sleep, I want to do nothing. Don't think they're being lazy. They're just tired. It's been a hard time in school. Schooling is not easy. Especially these days, it's not easy. It's very hard on children. The demands that the society puts on them, it's too hard for children. So if they ask for sleep, they need to get that. They need to have sleep. Spend time with them. Sit with them in their room, doing nothing. Maybe listening to the music that they're listening to. You know, uh, Move with them as they listen and dance to their music. Don't criticize. What is this? Just listen. It's okay. Watch the movies that they're watching with them. That's bonding with your children. Don't criticize the movie. Don't judge it. Just watch it with them. I know there are boundaries. They won't. They themselves will know what the boundaries are. But it will be so much of a joy for these children, for our children, to be able to do these things with you, with the parents. Remember, it's their vacation. Uh, Church related activities are good, but don't overwhelm the child. I I know of parents. Um, I mean, sometimes as parents we are so concerned of their spiritual well-being that we feel that we have to give as much as we can give to them. Okay? But sometimes children become resistant towards spiritual things because of this overloading. So if a child says, I don't want to go to one of these camps or the VBS, you see, just say, it's okay. If they're saying, I don't want to do this, listen. That's why the first principle was listen. Ask why. Why do they feel that way? They may have a good reason why, but it will need some time for you to build that trust with them where they can give you the answers which they really have in their heart, knowing that you will accept and receive. But it's a good thing to work on. So these two principles: one, listen, form deep connections; second, plan, keeping in mind that less is more. And the last thing that I want to share is celebrate. Celebrate the vacation, celebrate this time that you spend with your children. Let this be a time where you have opportunities to recognize God's beauty, wonder, love, and let them respond with awe and gratitude. Give them opportunities to recognize God's beauty, wonder, and love, and respond. Let them respond with awe and gratitude. So create art together. Parents create art together. Fathers, mothers, children. Charcoal painting is a very good thing. I love that. Watercolor is very cathartic. It really blesses your heart when you splash color on paper. Uh, Plan out treks if that's what children like to do. Plan out treks. Go and do simple things. Take them to places where you've spent your childhood. Tell them your story. I worked here. I used to go to college here. This was the place where I used to go and have tea with my friends. This is the place where I studied. Do that with your children. They'd love to hear your stories. Tell them some fun stories about yourself. Do things together. Celebrate the world around you. It doesn't have to be educational all the time. It doesn't have to be something that the child is learning all the time. It doesn't have to be that way. Play with the children. This is taken, this is mistaken to be a very silly thing, play. But recently, I'm not sure if it's recent thing, but a lot of people have come up with thoughts on playing, and there's a lot of study that has gone in, and we now understand that playing is very important, not only for children play naturally, but even for adults. um, so play, let them teach you their games, and play not for the sake of winning or losing. Don't be too upset about winning and losing, or even knowing all the rules well. Just enjoy your game. Let it not be chess. No, it has to be chess. No, doesn't have to be that. Just play anything. Play Uno. If for indoor games, go out, run around with your child and play. Play outdoor games. Lacey Borgo, in her book Faith Like a Child, Embracing Our Lives as Children of God, says play is a creative state of being where inner and outer life can mingle without the pressure to perform, plan, or achieve. For children, it is natural. For adults, it has to be intentional. So she goes on to say, our spiritual and emotional health depends on our ability to play throughout all the developmental stages of life. She adds, playing with others is deeply connective. So if you play with your children, it deeply connects you, which will help you, which will help them to talk more freely with you, and you will listen. You will come to, you will, they will be free to talk to you things that are in their heart, and you will get opportunities to listen to them well. She adds, it offers us the freedom to fail. So may I encourage you to play with your children. In all of this, before all of this, during all of this, take care of yourself as well. Take rest, go out, take time out, do something for yourself. Take care of yourself. If I cannot love myself well, I will not be able to love my children well. If I cannot nurture the child within me, I will not be able to nurture the child in front of me. So take care of yourself. That's important as well. Do simple things. Doesn't have to be something big. Just simple things. You will know what it is, what you like to do most. So take care of yourself. My prayer for you and for your children is that as you plan your vacation, you would listen, plan, and celebrate each other. You and your children will recognize God's fingerprints around you and respond deeply to his love and presence in your life. Bless you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lydia, for a wonderful presentation. I think Dr. Joshi is actually the next speaker, but I think I understand Dr. Atul has to leave early, around 10 p.m. So if Dr. Atul can go first, would be fine, because in case it goes a little more overtime. Yeah, okay. All right, over to Dr. Atul.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Thank you uh, for all that I'm hearing today. Yes, of course, listening is extremely powerful. Maybe I can share my screen with you.
Yes.
Would that be possible? Okay.
Yes.
Mm. Just a minute, please. Okay. How do I share my screen? Oh, yeah. Okay. From the green button. Yes.
Yeah, green button, share.
Okay.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay. So very similarly to what we were listening to, and
I think to your bottom right, there is a cup-like structure next to the indicator minus and the scale. Bottom right, you can click on that; it will become full screen. Yeah, correct, correct. No, no, no. Just to the left of it, slightly. Yeah, more left, more left. Cross. Yeah, there's a cup-like structure. Yeah, click on that, please. Thank you.
okay. So this is our very important topic today, and all that was being said, I think I'm saying the same thing, but probably in a little more technical language. So the idea is, how are we going to be sensitive to the needs of children during summer vacations? So this is a bit of psychology that might be helpful for us. The first concept is what we will call as self-determination. So if as a parent, I am going to order my child, do this, do that, this is how your day should be, then their ability to be self-determining becomes lesser, which means their confidence is lesser. There are three components to self-determination. One is autonomy. We give them limited, reasonable freedom. We appreciate their competence and we help them to develop good connections. So besides self-determination, we also always need to keep in mind, is our child intrinsically motivated or extrinsically motivated? So when it comes to extrinsic motivation, it's like this: child is studying because he or she does not want to fail, because failing will mean that fun is going to be made of and so on. So which means that um, as soon as class is over and the term is over and vacations have begun, there is no difference between my books that I'm studying and what in Hindi we call as raddi. Like I might as well sell it all away. So intrinsic motivation is when we enjoy the science, we enjoy the maths, we enjoy some part of literature. Of course, we cannot enjoy everything, but all of us can enjoy something. So, are we helping our children to be self-determined and intrinsically motivated? The next thing to keep in mind would be that um, we do not give them a highly structured vacation. So, story is told of a child who stopped saying that he liked anything because whatever he liked, his parents started a class for him in that. Like he says, I like chess. Now from tomorrow, you are on chess class. I like badminton, so now you are playing badminton. So there has to be an unstructured day, like we were hearing, that there has to be that relaxed time where we are just playing with nothing, no agenda, there is no output, nothing is made in the process. And in the process of making nothing, our head and heart is made whole. So there is a mistake with this slide, but the opportunity for me here is to make you guess what the light pink section is, what the red one is, and what the dark red one is. So the dark red portion is parents who are going through burnout. So that itself is a big component. I mean, if I struggle with stress and anxiety, then I'm going to model stress and anxiety for my child. If I am unhappy, I'm teaching my child to be unhappy. It is very difficult that uh, I am a fish swimming in water and I expect my child to be a bird flying in the sky. That will not work, isn't it? So that's the dark red component. Parents who are going through burnout. The red component is parents who are not going through burnout, but who have significant stress and anxiety. And this stress and anxiety could even be like this: okay, my God, vacations have started. What are we going to do? This could also be one of those things. And the light pink section is the minority, the one third, the one fourth, which is able to handle vacations the way vacations should be handled. So, the balance would be that we have structure for some things and we have freedom for some other things. We want to nurture intrinsic motivation, and therefore attaching everything with a reward or a punishment is not a good idea. So we do not want to have systems of reward all the time, everywhere. They also need a summer break. So, besides this, then we have the category of children who are somewhat more sensitive than others. Uh, if not our child, maybe our brother or our sister's child, we see that they have some anxiety, some discomfort. And it is important that children like this are supported. So we can help them with some consistency, some planning. You could help them to take care of their day-to-day. Summer season, though of course in Bombay is not as intense as some other parts of India, but still hydration, um, how much time we are in the sun, how much time we are on the TV are very important things. And very importantly, uh, we don't want to trigger alarm and insecurity. And we can do that if we can prepare a child for transitions. So, some children say, I'm very happy that my vacations have begun. After 7 days, they say, I am missing school. I want school to start. And just before school is starting, they're like, oh no, I wish my vacations continued. So we can use this as an opportunity to prepare children for transition, that it is a good thing that you go to school. It is also a good thing that you have a vacation. So this is what I wanted to basically share, that if we have a balanced approach and we promote a love for learning, creativity, connection with family, relatives, neighbors, and we ourselves model psychological well-being, then we are going to have a much more healthier situation for our children. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening. I hope my internet was okay and I didn't break.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Over to Dr. Doshi Jonas. Yeah. Welcome, Doctor. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and it's a joy to be on the panel with people whom I have known for almost 30 years, or more than that. I remember meeting Dr. Atul back in 1981. And Lydia, of course, she has been my volunteer, and she has worked with me both in the Vacation Bible School as well as in my camps. So, thank you very much, Dr. Atul, for giving those insights where the mental health and the preparedness which is required in engaging with children, and the way you have brought into our knowledge, the parents as well as the children are both the subject of mental health while we deal with them during the vacation season. Well, Lydia happened to give us everything that we should know as an informal input into the lives of the children during the vacation. And she, being a mother and struggling with all that a young mother would go through, she is able to, give us a very first-hand instruction so that we don't defeat ourselves. Well, with me, I would say I'm the first student of the Vacation Bible School in Mumbai back in 1969. And then in 1979, I became the first director of the VBS movement for all the churches. And I have been leading the directors, leaders, and teachers training in Mumbai and all over the country, not only while I was with the Scripture Union and other agencies, I was doing it right from my farmer days. So I would say it is the Vacation Bible School which gave me a vision to be with the children, and it has lasted the last 50 years. Now, when I come to sharing something about how do we do a formal project for the children with our children during the vacation, to me, I would say a local church needs to assign itself at least 6 months in advance to start preparing for the whole project. Whether it's a Vacation Bible School or a camp, you need three or four important things.
Apollo,
Hello.
if I may interrupt, do you have a headphone to try?
Yes.
Because there's some echoing, we are not sure why.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Is it better? Better?
Yeah, go. Just, I think it's still there. Can you say something?
Hello.
Yeah, just all right. You can go on. Continue. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just mentioning about the preparation for both the camps as well as the Vacation Bible School. There are three important areas where we need to start working together as a church. Number one is the place where this thing can happen. That is either it's in the place where we worship or we go out for a camp. The second thing is the people who will be involved in it. Now, when we come to thinking of the people who would be involved in it, I would say young parents are the best volunteers who could work. Because in my observation, I have found that parents of children whose age is between 6 and 10 are the best volunteers, and their input into the Vacation Bible School is very rich. They themselves grow spiritually and they help the children, not only their children, but the others also to grow with what they gain by preparing and dispensing the knowledge in their classes. The third thing that we need to look out for are the people who will do the various things. People who would be engaged in helping children to worship, people who would be doing activities, people who would be doing games, and people who would be assigned to counsel. Because these four types of people are very critical and they are not available all the time. And if we have a good set of people who are involved in teaching as well as in worship, doing games and activities, and also counseling, believe me, the whole function or the project of Vacation Bible School becomes a rich experience. It is said, when you hold a Vacation Bible School for 10 days, you are able to do what a Sunday school does in 2 years. So those 10 days are so effective. And if you have the right people doing their job well, believe me, it becomes a hallmark experience for every child who participates in it. Well, the second thing that we need to look at is the finances. If you look at the finances required, they are for 2 or 3 areas. One is the books that are required, the material that would be required to do the activities and craft work. And then the last thing that we need to consider is if at all we are going to hire some professionals who are going to be part of the project, then a small honorarium for these people who are specialized in their work. And if this is given, believe me, they will be really helping in a big way. Now, there are a few things that we got to keep in mind when we think of hosting a vacation Bible school in the local church. Number one, you got to make sure that all the people who would be your partners or stakeholders in the project, they are available. And invariably, I have found when one class gets 2 or 3 teachers in a period of 1 week, that becomes a hindrance to the child's ability to absorb the lessons that is being taught by multiple teachers. So it is good to have one person leading a small group of kids and do it right from the day one to the last day. The second thing that we want to understand and do very well is playing games with the children. The best way to understand who our children are is to play with them. And I'm happy that Lydia brought that what we call a quotation from Lassie Bogo. And I would say it is a fact. It's a fact when we play, you know the inner dynamics of the child, and then their ability to move their hands and feet, their gross motor skills, their minor motor skills, they are all trained better when they are doing games with a group. And then what we also see is games are not for competition. The games are only to help them have fun and enjoy the relationship with their peers. Because when they develop a good relationship with their peers, the learning becomes more effective than just learning from the teacher. The next thing that I want to bring to our attention is the whole project has to be under the supervision of the director who knows what is happening with different age groups. Because what is being taught to the youngest of young child is not taught to the senior most kids. There is a difference in the delivery. There's a difference in the content of the lesson. Everything is different from one age group to another age group. So the director should be having a total view as to what would be the outcome of each age group that participates in the Vacation Bible School. Another thing that I would want us to consider in the Vacation Bible School, we don't entertain exams and competition. Children are tired of being in the school and having exams. Instead, when children start sharing their experience applying the biblical truth, that supports their conviction, that supports their learning, and also it supports their curiosity in knowing and doing the will of God. And then what we also encourage in the Vacation Bible School is that everyone comes prepared for each day. Everyone comes prepared for each day. And each session during the 3 or 4 hours that we spend with the kids, it's a time where they just revel in an experience of knowing themselves and knowing each other and knowing the truth. The next thing that I want us to consider in a Vacation Bible School is that children, when they share their experience, they are giving us a clue or an insight into their struggles as well as their journey. The more you listen and identify what they have to share in their sharing time as an experience, going through the lessons, going through the what we call games and activities, you will definitely see each child has something to contribute in the conversation. I would say every good Vacation Bible School needs these 5 major departments working effectively. Number one is the time of worshiping the Lord together using music. Now, with the children, one important thing that needs to be done is we have not to ask them what shall we sing, what is your choice, and who will start the singing. That's a wrong habit. The worship leader knows exactly what the children know. They start with the songs that the children know first. Then they teach a song which is more important for the day's theme. And then, if necessary, they will add 1 or 2 songs which the children learn. Most importantly, there should not be tuning of the guitar in the presence of the kids. The children should see any uncle or auntie with their instrument coming up front just begins the worship without giving them room to whisper or talk among themselves. And when we keep the worship time in a watertight response, as a watertight session, giving no room for pause, the worship becomes very, very effective with kids. It's only the adults who take a long time singing songs in coming to worship the Lord. But with children, as least as 5 minutes is enough to sing with them, and they are in the presence of God. This is one area which we all need to work on before we start VBS. The second thing is not all school teachers are good teachers of the scriptures. I would say a young mother who is hungering for the word, when she has a set of children to talk to, she begins to reflect as to what she has learned and how it is being received. So we don't need qualified professional teachers to teach in the Vacation Bible School. We just need a disciple who could disciple a child. The next thing is your activity or your games. They too also need to do their work so efficiently without giving any room for what we call a gap between the shift of one item to another item. Now, when anything is done promptly, efficiently, the children feel, we had no time to play our mischief, but the mischief by the adults who entertained us and educated us was enough to keep us thinking and working in our mind, with our mind. So these 5 departments you need a good person who can organize the right thing. One is the worship. For the teaching, you need good volunteers who would be willing to prepare their lesson and teach. We need people who could do good activities or craft or play with the kids. And then the other thing that I would say is if they can have a place where they can share with one another what they have enjoyed for the day. Because one thing is noticed that what a child shares immediately after experiencing it, that remains a testimony in their heart, and they want to see it grow in a bigger way through obedience to the scripture. So the Vacation Bible School or the camps has to be prepared well. And if the churches invest into this particular program, I would say the church will never be deficient of not only the children coming to the church, the whole family comes to the church because of the children. And invariably, some of the pastors whom I know, they have started the children's ministry, and out of the children's ministry, they have formed a church. So it's a wonderful project which all of us need to consider it as part of our journey with our children and with the families. Because when we invest into the little ones now, you do not know what you get out of them as the days go by. I'm surprised to see some of my BBA students becoming lawyers, doctors, theologians, and really in good places, good places. So I would say that what we do with our children is enriching and what we call enhancing the church life into the next level of its maturity and glory. So with these, I stop, and yeah, we'll have some
Okay.
questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, all Dr. Joshi and all our speakers. I think now we will stop this live stream and go for another section.